Hey everyone, me Kevin here. This is your stimulus check and stimulus package update for July 13th. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Moderna's vaccine is looking closer to getting approval, emergency use approval by the FDA, and their stock is up 20%. Oh wait, it says here that they're hoping for approval by 2021, and I don't own any Moderna stock. It looks like the theme is continuing. The rich get richer. But maybe there's good news on stimulus. We know that the $600 boost in unemployment expires in about 12 days. And you also know that politicians are calling the boost a disincentive to work, which is really a slap in the face to all of those who want to work but can't. And that is, of course, if you can actually get the unemployment pay. The Washington Post this morning released an expose that only 57% of Americans who are claiming unemployment have actually received their unemployment pay. This means that at the same time Congress is talking about winding down this program, almost half of Americans still haven't actually gotten their $600 boost. Now, they can apply for that retroactively and they can make an appointment to go to their unemployment insurance's department, and they'll just have to wait a few months for that appointment to come around. This seems really efficient. The Financial Times this morning gave us a dire warning on the $600 plus up. They said that July is already looking like it's going to be much slower economically than the data that we had in June. And it's quite possibly because now we know that the $600 boost is coming to an end before everybody who's eligible for it even had a chance to get it. And this also means that a lot of us are now spending less because we also have no idea what Congress is going to do next. Is there going to be a stimulus package? When is that stimulus package going to come? Are there going to be checks in it? Is there going to be a $600 plus up? Is there going to be a $400 plus up? I was told that recess in Congress meant work from home and work from their home districts. Now I'm starting to think that Congress is actually on a playground somewhere laughing at us. The Financial Times went on to cite an economist from George Washington University saying that August will be even worse than July, economically that is. Maybe now at this rate, virus-wise as well. But guess what a lot of senators and representatives in Congress are waving around? A Congressional Budget Office report from June saying that the $600 boost is going to create issues for the recovery in 2021, and maybe that $600 boost shouldn't be extended. Except that report was written in June, when we were expecting a strong Q3 and a rocket ship of a Q4. Well, maybe they should rerun the numbers before Congress goes back to work. Maybe they should incorporate the V-shaped recovery we've seen in coronavirus cases. Well, maybe I shouldn't be so jaded. The CDC is doing their best to keep us updated. In fact, they've added even more symptoms to the list of COVID-19 symptoms. Congestion, runny nose, nausea, and diarrhea are now on the list. However, those are also the same symptoms we feel when we're exposed to the bullcrap we're getting from Congress. So now we're just utterly confused. But at least I have life insurance, which you can also sign up for in as little as 5 minutes. Just make sure to click the link down below and sign up. You can get life insurance during a pandemic. What a world have we come to. You can also get 2 completely free stocks by signing up for Webull when you deposit $100. Senator John Barroso, a Republican and a doctor from Wyoming, spoke on Fox News this Sunday. And he said that the next stimulus checks were being considered, but possibly just for the hard-hit sectors throughout the country. Apparently, he doesn't realize that the entire country has been hard hit. But then again, the rich are getting richer. Fortunately, Senator John Barroso did say that there is a goal of passing the next package or getting something done by August 8th. I'm not sure if that's any consolation for what we've been waiting for so far. In another promising sign of the functioning of our government, the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department are getting along. Wait, they're not. A new Wall Street Journal expose shows the Fed's stimulus program, the Main Street Lending Program, which was originally authorized 4 months ago and has taken 4 months to get up and running, has hit delays and snags because the Treasury Department was too concerned about spending too much money on that program and potentially too many losses. So think about this for a moment. The Treasury Department is slowing down the Federal Reserve stimulus program because they're worried about spending too much money on it. But wait a minute. The guy who heads the Treasury Department, the Secretary of the Treasury, is Steve Mnuchin. And Steve Mnuchin is literally the dude who keeps going on TV saying, we're waiting on the next rounds of stimulus checks because all of the money from the CARES Act has yet to be spent. Well, maybe one of the reasons all of the money hasn't been spent yet is because Steve Mnuchin is too worried about actually spending the money that's already authorized, and he's giving the Fed a hard time trying to get the money out the door. This is literally like Steve Mnuchin standing at a podium, putting his foot on Garfield the cat's tail and telling the world that Garfield hasn't been seen yet, so we won't put food out for him until Garfield comes around again. This is the disaster of government at work. They're holding back the next rounds of stimulus to wait and see, while at the same time slowing down the process they're waiting to wait and see for. Schools are not exempt from this crap, which is also going to be a huge part of the next stimulus debate. Let's take a look at what's happening in schools. First, we know that some people want schools to go back to normal. Some say, you know what, let's stagger school days. So you guys go Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and I don't know, you guys go Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we'll swap the next week. Some say, you know what, why don't we just learn at home? Including some teachers who are saying, forget this, let's just do virtual learning. Just give us some guidance on how to do this. And this makes sense. Teachers and administrators are more at risk of problems from COVID than kids are. Okay, so what's the government doing? Well, Trump says we need to reopen schools, otherwise schools will have their funding withheld. Following that, Florida is now mandating that schools be open at least 5 days a week starting in August. But instead of helping schools reopening, the state said they're leaving how to reopen up to the individual school districts. This is literally trickle-down lack of leadership. So that way, each district creates their own rules, everybody makes their own mistakes, and when those mistakes get made, the little guys are the ones to blame, not the leadership. I literally thought it was the federal government's job, at least personally I thought this, to guide states with the best possible information. I mean, I always thought, oh, the federal government, they should know more, right? Instead, now broke counties are supposed to hire doctors and come up with their own solutions? And states like California are having to sue the federal government for clarity? This is literally stupid. Everyone's fighting each other. We're like literally that team in World of Warcraft playing Capture the Flag, where everybody's off doing their own thing and we're getting decimated. The other team is capturing flags over and over and over. And in this game of Capture the Flag, we're not worried about flags, we're talking about people dying and the other team being in disaster mode. But at least we're learning how to control COVID, right? Well, now there are signs that COVID-19 is mutating. Researchers have discovered a new strain of the coronavirus that is spreading. And while it's not more lethal, it is more contagious. Over 90% of coronavirus samples from Arizona have this mutation, which has prompted a multitude of experts to conclude that the mutated strain actually explains why we're seeing an explosion in cases recently. Johns Hopkins went as far as saying that if Arizona was its own country, on a per capita basis, it would look like the worst hit country in the world. Hot temperatures in Arizona also aren't reducing the spread. Previously, we thought, well, the coronavirus doesn't survive well in hot temperatures. But guess what's actually happening? Because the weather is hot, people are going inside where it's cooler and there's air conditioning, which air conditioning and closed off spaces are wonderful ways to actually spread the virus. In fact, Dr. David Engelthaler of TGen North, a group that focuses on things like COVID, says earlier strains of the coronavirus fizzled out. This new one isn't fizzling out. Dr. Anthony Fauci agrees with David, but honestly, even mentioning Dr. Fauci these days has become as political as wearing masks, even though Dr. Fauci has worked for 6 presidents, not just Trump. Now, Dr. Fauci and Trump don't even talk anymore. Trump calls Fauci out in the media, saying that Dr. Fauci makes many mistakes, which many on the right agree with and even question Dr. Fauci's experience and expertise. And those on the left say the president is hiding Dr. Fauci because it hurts Trump's re-election bid. All we're getting is infighting and not solutions. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, it's a disaster. Maybe that explains why more and more college students are now planning on taking a gap year this upcoming year. That is, forget going to college, let the colleges figure it out for a year, I'll go to school a year later. I personally kind of want a gap year too. I'm kind of telling Lauren, who's half Canadian, that we're going to get ourselves Canadian citizenship and move to Canada. And apparently, we'll even get $2,000 recurring stimulus checks. Thanks for watching, folks. Check out the programs in the links down below. The coupon code is available. Summer fun. Take a look at that coupon code. You can also get yourself 2 free stocks with Webull. Deposit $100 and get yourself life insurance. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you next time.